How's it going, everyone? This is Fine Gaming Connoisseur. Welcome back to another game guide video of Mortal Online 2. And this is version 1.0.0.13. Okay, so of course we are in persistence now. So my last game guide video, we were just days before launch, I think it was. But now we are live, and so today I want to focus on the topic of establishing your resource ecosystem. So what I mean by that is, when you start playing this game, you are going to have to start figuring out where you're going to get your resources from and what resources you're going to need for crafting. Because in this game, I think everyone will need to craft on some level. So I'll just use myself as an example. So these are my resources. Now, I'm planning to go with Syndromic Guard Armor and Spears and Shields, and so I'm planning to use a number of resources. Now, okay, just before I do that, let me just read this book. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about establishing your resource ecosystem. So I would like to break down this topic into two different parts. So one is domestic resources, that is resources that you can acquire within the confines or in the surroundings of the town that you live in. And in my case, it is Fabrenum. So in Fabrenum, you can find three different types of wood. You can find dapple wood, you can find grey wood, and white wood. So I'm planning to I'm going to try and gather dapple wood and grey wood for myself. And so the resource I'm going to use for crafting armor is 4-grain leather, which I can acquire within, just on the outskirts of town. And calx powder, coal, and malachite. These I can get easily, along the riverbanks. So these are my domestic resources. So it's important that you establish your domestic resources, because these are the resources that you can acquire relatively easily, because they will be within reach of the town that you live in. So that's what I mean by domestic resources. Now, if you live in another town, it can be different. So for example, if you live in say Meduli, then you will have lots of Sabura and lots of malachite, because Meduli is basically built on top of a Sabura mine, and so there's plenty of Sabura there. So in Meduli, your domestic resources will be Sabura powder and malachite. So you go from there. And if you go to another town, then the domestic resources will be different. Now, not only do you have domestic resources, but also what I would call foreign or imported resources. So in the long term, I'm going to look for other resources that are better than the domestic resources that I have at present. So these ones, like 4-grain leather, might be sort of adequate for starting materials, but I think at some stage I want to get silk and ground fur for the backing, and maybe perhaps for the primary resource for crafting armor. So, and of course, eventually I want to get Sabura powder and get malachite from Meduli as well. So those are what I would call foreign or imported resources. So that's important for you to figure out for yourself. Now, everyone, I think, depending on what kind of crafting you're going to do, your your domestic and foreign resources will be different. So it is up to you to figure out what your domestic and foreign resources will be. Okay, and so that's the first thing. So it's very important that you figure out these two resources, because they will, in some ways, dictate a significant portion of your, I guess, in some ways, dictate a portion of your playtime. Because unless you're playing in a big guild where there's an abundance of resources that can be distributed to guild members, you as the player, you are going to have to acquire those resources for yourself. So it's important and a good idea to figure out what those resources are going to be, so that you have a clear goal in mind, so that you have a clear purpose for the resource gathering and for your crafting. Because otherwise you'll be all over the place. You know, you won't have a clear goal and a clear direction to head towards. So that's why I say it's important to establish what your domestic and foreign resources are going to be. And secondly, I also want to focus on another aspect of your resource ecosystem, and that is your trade routes, or your resource routes. That is the routes that you're going to take to get the resources that you need. Now for me, it's very basic. I'm just going to be basically heading between Fabernum and Meduli from time to time. So my trade or resource route will be to Meduli and back. So until later on, when I figure out where the spiders are and where I can get silk, then that will also become another resource route for me. And so again, it is different for everybody. Your resource route is going to be different to mine and towards another player's. So everyone will have their own resource route. Now, if you have friends or you know of people who are using the same domestic or foreign resource, or the resource route as you, then you may be able to establish I would say, I don't know, you can call it an agreement, or some sort of mutually beneficial, like a mutually beneficial agreement, or like a synergistic relationship where both parties benefit. So if you, let's say, both of you use the same domestic and foreign resource, and you also share the same resource route, then what you can do is you can party up and help each other out, and then you can maybe split the resources that you gather, or something along those lines. You can establish an agreement, and so that is for you to figure out. I'm only here to explain to you what I feel is something that is important for every player. Now, this is not something that is explicitly hardwired into the game. This is just something that I've picked up as from the many years of playing Mortal Online 1. So this is just my take on how you as a player can acquire resources in the long term. And this is how I've been doing it for many years of playing Mortal Online 1, and which I intend to do in Mortal Online 2 as well. So hope this helps you. And now of course, there's no map in this game that's going to tell you where each resource is. You have to figure out and then memorize for yourself. And so you know, those things are for you to discover. But once you've established your domestic and, oh my goodness, they blocked off the okay, this is not something you should be doing, blocking off the path. Yeah, it's really not good. I think this is blocking. Yeah, this is blocking the it's kind of blocking the road. But yeah, it's something for you to figure out, because you will need to establish that domestic and foreign resource for yourself, and also for your resource route. And so I'll leave the video here, and if you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to leave it in the section below, and please do like this video and also share this video as well. And if you haven't subscribed, then please do subscribe to my channel. So I hope this video helps you, and so I will be back with another video next time. But for now, thank you for watching. This is Fun Gaming Connoisseur. Take care and have a good day.